I'm your host, Judith Bodley, and this week, catching up with attorney at law Isat Buchanan. You could refer to him, though, as Little Youth, since he is Big Youth's son and a musician in his own right. Let's catch up about his journey into music and law and how they've shaped him. We have to start off by asking, how did you become an attorney, Isat?
I'm an attorney by unfortunate events in my life. I'll start by saying that. Twice convicted, one as a juvenile, and a second one 3 years later, arrested on the same day.
The same day as the previous one?
Yes.
Wow.
In November. It was...
And my understanding is that even though the first one was in Jamaica, the U.S. persons looked at it to say this is related.
The U.S. persons actually flew the officer who arrested me in Jamaica, gave him a visa, and in his testimony, he received a green card for it to say that I was some big drug dealer. And as a result, my time was doubled, so I was given a 10-year sentence. I appealed, learned how to navigate the law with the assistance of persons who also incarcerated that knew the law before me. I appealed right until the day I came back to Jamaica.
In both instances, were you at fault?
And I'm going to say this, no, but of importance is that where my respect for the law is that when a jury or a judge adjudicates and you've exhausted your remedies for appeal and the conviction is not overturned, convictions aren't about guilt or innocence, but I respect the verdict. That's what I did. Respect the verdict and said to myself, what can I do to fix my life? My biggest supporter, my father. Big Youth, and my brother, Tafari. I'm speaking of them most important because when I came to Jamaica, it's the most difficult thing to navigate. As soon as you would be in employment or, unofficial employment, and if it was time for a police record and you declare your convictions, the mood and the tone changed. All of a sudden.
So how many years after coming back home did you become an attorney? Were you called to bar?
I was called to the bar just in 2017, so it was a 9-year journey to fix my life. That's what I call it. But I started law in 2012, and it was the weirdest thing for me because I came home. As I said, my father is doing music, my brother is doing music, and I, have my weights and, body looking tight, they would call it. Yeah, and I decided that I'm going to do the music. I shot my first video, Dance the Night Away, and...
Sing a piece of that one.
Baby, we could dance the night away. We'll stop right there. But certainly, that particular song, it was so good for me because I was expressing myself. I was doing, what came naturally to me until I met the industry that is called Jamaica. It is a rough and tough industry. It has a lot of politics in it.
And you're talking about the music industry?
The music industry. The reality is the many hats that ISAT fits under. Because conveniently, I'm an uptown youth, so you can't just think you're going to just walk into the dancehall scene and get any street
So even though
cred.
You're a Big Youth son, that gave you no level of authenticity?
No, and I can tell you this, any child who is a child of a legend or an artist who has done something, made serious musical contribution, you're just a replica of the greatness of your father. Take several seats. And that's to all children of great musicians. And
Yet people tend to think that the Marleys have it so easy. When they see them nominated for Grammys, they're such a...
No, so to be fair, the Marleys reap the benefits of being replicas of their father. Nobody is interested in the Marleys outside of being the son of Bob Marley.
You said the same about a Chino.
Freddie McGregor's son? Of course. No disrespect to any of them, and they should be happy for that. That evidence of that is Morgan's heritage.
Yeah.
They are replicas of their father, and they should be happy for that.
So you did this first song, and the industry did not accept you nor the song?
No, it was good, but then there was, and there is politics. You have to be aligned with people. It's all about who you know, and
Who you pay?
The who? And then I realized real quickly, remember where I'm coming from. So money for me was important in terms of the usage. And I'm a simple person, and I'll never change that. I'm grounded in simplicity. So I don't chase the fame, and I won't pay for it. I take offense to any person who is not the author, as in the artist, the product, benefiting more than the artist. So I'm not going to pay a disc jockey to play my music. Don't ever play it. That's how I feel about it. And if the fans never hear me, I'm okay with that. But I have, right now as I'm speaking to you, I have my fans.
But how are you going to have fans if they never hear you?
No, so here's what I discovered a long time ago. I have music. I put music out like consistently like everybody else. And my music is played, and I get my sound scan check, and I look at my, whether it be Spotify or my sound scan in terms of the regions that my music is played. And I'm amazed, places I've never been, my music is playing more in Germany now than, well, it's never played here, which I'm fine with.
What genre of music do you do?
I would say I call it lovers rock radio. Yeah, I sing for the ladies, sweet, soothing, love-making reggae music.
You recently released music. Tell me about that.
That's cool. So I did, I actually, in my legal capacity, I did a series, American Gangsters Trap Queen, for BET, and while during the breaks, you know, I was narrating and talking about the characters, the Jamaican female gangsters. That's what it's about. It was Jean Brown and Charmaine Roman. And as I'm speaking about their cases, their federal cases, between takes, I was like, they're bad mama jammers. Like, these girls are, we don't have no bad man in there, Jamaica, like Jean Brown, reading what the federal government put forth about what she did. And I was like, that's my girl, you know? And I put the song together, and the producer was like, no, you do music? And we started to talk about that, and he said, you know what? You should do a song. And if you do the song before, and again, I guess it's who you know. And I did the song for the soundtrack, and it's featured in the actual film? The actual clip. And I can tell you, the song is nice because I wrestle and muscle my father.
Sing a piece of the song.
So it was, my girl, nobody can tell me about my girl, cause she a number one in my world. I don't care if she deceiving me. Don't talk, don't tell me that she cheating on me, cause this is the girl of my dreams. And so, you know, it's on the Dennis Brown his original song. And that rhythm, Sly and Robbie's rhythm, sitting here watching, yes. And I can tell you, my father came on it, gave me his spice. And the song is doing well. Yes.
Tell me, where's the song doing well?
The song is doing well, certainly in the United States, and again, Germany. I always go there. I don't know why. And in France. And so for those regions, I think that's where most of the persons are interested in Isat.
It's interesting. People tend to think that without doing well in the United States, your music is not doing well. Even a conversation I would have had with Bounty the other day,
Yes.
where he was saying, yes, there are other markets, but the dancehall in particular needs the U.S. market. How do you feel about your music and Jamaican music having to have U.S. strength?
No, so here's the thing about it. If we need authenticity from the plastic that is the U.S. market, that is what's wrong with why we are losing our industry. People will disagree with me that we're not, but we are. And so we are trying to please a market that doesn't understand originality and authenticity. And so even now, you hear about trap dancehall and things that I don't understand, and I'm not trying to understand. But certainly in terms of, I'll be fine if all of India and all of China and all of Africa like me. I'm not interested.
Because that's a tremendous
yes.
number there, right?
There's more people there. And so when you think of somebody like Burna Boy, who has all of Africa, and there's not one artist in the United States that can compete with him, so they have to work with him. That's
when Lucky Dube was like the greatest artist in the world, his numbers were mostly Africa-based also.
Right, so wherever the numbers come from, it's fine with me because, like I said, it's fans, genuine fans.
Don't you miss a minute of eLive Unplugged with musician and attorney Isat Buchanan. So much you don't know about him right after this. eLive Unplugged, it is you made a wise choice to be here. We're chatting with Isat Buchanan. He's already shared his experiences of being incarcerated, entering into law, and of course now his music. Why have you not written and sang your story though, Isat?
Who says I haven't?
I haven't heard it.
That's it. How would you hear it? Because I'm not going to
heard.
pay anybody for you to hear it.
Sing me something that you have written that speaks about this tremendous journey that you have taken to the relationship with the gavel and the relationship with the music. That gives us some of what you've actually been through to get here.
Well, I have a song, Believe in Jah. Again, my father has graced his presence on this song, on the song. I did put that song out by myself.
Give me the words of it.
It says, I say, the Lord give I protection, so which man out there should I fear? When natural is the mystic and the knowledge you receive when you are aware. And I'm stopping there because I don't want to be emotional in terms of the words
no, man, you have to tell
and what
me more.
it means to you.
You have to tell me
more.
more.
I will say, you know, Jah give me love, Jah give me life, Jah give me strength, Jah give me wealth, Jah give me love, Jah give me words, so know which God you are serve, you know. And it shall come to pass that the wicked man days are outnumbered. O Jah, bring forth your wrath and lick them with lightning and thunder. Only a fool would say, there's no faith in Jah. I saw them say, reveal to the wicked and show them your divine power.
And so along with your purpose with the music, you also see it as your purpose to defend people like...
No, man, that's my life. The music I love, and I play the guitar, I play the piano, play the bass. I love the music, yes? I appreciate it, and I can do it for me. That's my outlet. If it never sells, I'm fine with that. But I do it, and I do it great.
So you...
But I want to say this. When it comes to, if you know what it is, when a woman who, she doesn't have $80,000, you know, never in her life does she has $80,000. I might cry, no, because, let me tell you something. When you're in the court and a woman comes to you and she puts her hand in her chest And she says, help my son. He's not a criminal. And he's locked up. And this case doesn't go beyond a bail application because they're going to throw it out. But that's the power that they wield. But the fact that this woman, she has to move mountains to get, and it's a long process to take her child out of the hands of Babylon, that's what I'm going to call it. And there's no apology. And when he's released, you hear on the TV, the Minister of National Security says, we have intelligence that he's a violence contributor. So I'm going to lock him up at my pleasure because he is a troublemaker. They turn him into that first when they arrest him falsely and take money that the mother never had in her life, but she go beg it and she seek help. And then people, our Jamaicans say, why are you begging? But she has to save our son. This is the story of the ghetto black woman with her many amount of children that they say she shouldn't have. But if these women don't have their 9, 10 kids, we won't have the boat. We won't have the Bob Marley. We won't have the greatness, because the greatness, like my father, is ghetto them come from.
And adversity.
Yeah. And the measure of a man, you know, is when he's tried in adversity, when he overcomes the challenges of life, because God, the God I serve, never give you more than you can bear.
So we move now to the case with Vybz Kartel.
Yes.
And you are now the attorney that will take care of Privy Council.
Yes.
For him. How and why?
How and why?
Yes.
I would probably say that experience and understanding what it is to be locked up, understanding the strength and the mindset, the mental strength that you need to have to be able to be patient and know that your human rights were violated. Vybz Kartel, Adidja Palmer, who is before the court legally, his constitutional rights were trampled on. And I will say this, the average Jamaican should be very afraid in terms of what happened to Vybz Kartel in his trial and his co-accused. And I'm talking legally.
What you mean?
So the safeguards of the Constitution says, no matter what happens, your constitutional rights are absolute, including your right to privacy, including your right to be protected by the court. When your right to privacy, your right to due process, you are cloaked in the presumption of innocence when you're brought before the court. Doesn't matter what the media says, doesn't matter what you hear and all the inflamed things that we hear about in his case. The reality is this, the manner in which it was put there, it was illegal, it was a breach, and evidence was allowed to be put in there. Suspect evidence, evidence that was tampered with. And so to answer your question as to why me, I'm a human rights attorney. So if anybody thinks I'm on the Vybz Kartel case, apart from being a fan of Vybz Kartel, because of the criminal aspect of it, no. Every litigation, strategic on my part, is for the protection of human rights for all. So,
outside of that, do you believe that if he actually committed, participated in the murder, that he should pay for it?
If he did that, then justice must be served. A mother, I start there all the time, lost her child. And it happens every day in this country, all the time. The injustices by, a woman who gets the call that her son is murdered. And the murderers, they must be brought to justice. But the thing about it is, they're alleged murderers. And the justice, what we speak of, if we believe it, it must be absolute. And when I say absolute, beyond a reasonable doubt, so that the evidence that's brought before the court must be able to actually bring justice. It cannot be that we input our biases and our opinions of, because we don't appreciate the slackness and the filth that comes out of Kartel's mouth, that we say that he is that. And since I've been in the case, I've seen the filth even towards me on social media. But my back is firm.
There are a number of Jamaicans, both here and diaspora, who believe that no one incarcerated should be allowed to make music and profit from same. What do the laws say about that?
First of all, there was not a judgment the judge did not say that he is not to do that. Ironically, if you remember Jacquier, he recorded from in prison. There is a program in prison where they record and they put out the music. And so in terms of, this is one of the things that's interesting, because that position that was taken is a bad mind position. And here's why I said this. Kartel is a national treasure. He is dancehall's lifeline. He has money, and I say this to substantiate my position. He has remained relevant, notwithstanding he did not have to go on a stage. He has been current, and his music transforms with the time. It transcends the time. You can't deny, no one can deny that. It's not taking away from those who are free and able and irrelevant. And COVID shut down the place, so you don't have no money to pay all that, so you're irrelevant. Not my fault, but certainly I would say this, that Jamaica, peculiar to Jamaica, what we must understand, the musicians are closely related to tourism. It is our lifeline, our product. When you have Sunfest and when you have all of these shows, that's a part of tourism. And so if Kartel, the artist I'm speaking of right now, he is a part of the attraction that brings people to Jamaica. No one can deny that. And he has kids. He has a family. He has a mother. He has a father. Just like how Bob Marley is dead, but his music is the most relevant, so that people who are alive and might as well have been dead
are able to know and still see
yes.
who Bob Marley is. Let me ask you this, in terms of the power and the reach of dancehall music,
yes.
do you believe that it is as much as reggae music? How powerful is the dancehall genre as opposed to the reggae genre?
No, so here's the reality. Reggae is the genre. Those who want to get the accolade from the Grammys and anything, whether you're a dancehall or not, you have to make the quality of music in line, and it has to come back to the feel of reggae. Reggae is a particular feel, separate and apart from dancehall. You can't conflate the two. So the future of Jamaican music going out of COVID, I will start by saying that the artists, they had time to reflect. The contribution that they're going to make, it cannot be in a hostile space, and certainly they must be authentic, they must be original, And you must stop trying to be American. Go learn the music. I know not everybody have the father. I would say that, but I mean, if you are doing dancehall and the only place you stop is Kartel, you don't know your history. Because though I'm saying he's a national treasure, remember Ninja Man, remember Shabba Ranks, remember Big Youth, remember U-Roy.
King Sit.
Yeah, you have to remember all of them. Freddie McGregor, Barry Salmon. I'm calling all of these people because it's the music and it's the individual. And learn your craft, learn to play an instrument, learn to be a musician, and stop making noise on the record and pull up your pants.
A message right there to dancehall from attorney at law and musician Isat Buchanan, ending this week's eLive Unplugged.